Good evening, my friends, and welcome to Hacking Self Stories. So, Clough Road. Do you know what, Clough Road? I love it. I get frustrated by it, and it's just yee. I don't know what officially means yee, but yeah, it's frustrating. It just frustrates me. And we seem to go 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We can never create any momentum here. And I get straight into the figures, and we'll try to analyze it as we go. So last week we only had 20 quotes. That's where we got the quotes. That is our joint lowest. I'm just looking at the figures. That's our joint lowest ever. We've had 3 weeks where we've had 20 quotes. So that obviously is slightly worrying. The first week in October, we're down on the quotes. However, when we look at Willoughby's still very, very busy. So what's going on then? And the amount of reservations, we had 4 reservations for Clough Road, and that's not our least. I mean, the least we've ever done is we've done 2 reservations 1 week. So we haven't. So yeah, 4 reservations. It's not great. 20% conversion rate, and I don't know. Like I said, I just get so frustrated because I spoke to Angela about it today. Angela's not worried in the slightest. She thinks, yeah, it's going very fast. It's going great. You know, it's steadily building up, and we're 52%. But I'm thinking, I just thought we seem to. The problem with Clough Road is that, first of all, we smashed it. We was gaining 2,000 square foot. I mean, let's have a look. Move-ins. Mind you, actually, this is our most square foot we ever. Oh, that's square foot moved out. So it's our most ever square foot moved out in a week. Oh, Jesus. Let's have a look at square foot moved in. Yeah, it's a joint most ever square foot. So let's see what I mean by 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. So most ever square foot in a week was last week, but most ever square foot out in a week. We had over 1,000 square foot in for the second time ever. 1,045 square foot in, and so you can't complain when you got 1,000 square foot in. But then we had 1,000 square foot out, 1,070 square foot out. Somebody took an additional room of 100 square foot. So in total, it was 1,145 square foot in. So we did gain 75 square foot, but all that square footage, it just feels as though, because of all the outs, we've missed an opportunity there to really skyrocket the occupancy. And so it's just frustrating. The problem is, I think that because we started so well, we had a bumper start. We was gaining square foot all the time, and then all of a sudden, with the churn rate has gone up, and it started to affect us. And so that, my friends, is the issue. That's, my friends, is the problem. So let's go in. Right. So we had 4 reservations this week, 360 square foot, 20% conversion rate, which isn't good. Number of move-ins, we had 10 move-ins for 1,045 square foot. Somebody took an additional room for 100 square foot. So we had 1,145 square foot moved in. That's a conversion rate, by the way, of 50%. Like I said, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. 10 move-ins, 50% conversion rate, but then only 20% conversion rate for reservations. The reservation is a lagging indicator because it doesn't impact you today, it'll impact you tomorrow. So it's a lagging indicator. And so it's just a little bit frustrating with reservations. But then don't get me wrong, last week we had 10 reservations. And so the conversion rate was 32% last week. The week before, we had 9 reservations. And so the conversion rate was 34%. However, them weeks, we only moved in. So that was good. So the number of reservations was good. But the amount of square foot moved in was only 400 square foot and only 350 square foot. So them 2 weeks look good on paper because the amount of reservations, but then the square footage wasn't very good, the amount of square foot that moved in. So it's two steps forward, 2 steps back. This week, it's opposite. The reservations have been bad, but the square foot moved in has been great. So it's, as you can tell, it is what it is, isn't it? 75 square foot up for a week, I suppose. If we do that every single week, then, it's all right. Right, let's have a look at some other figures that I can tell you about. Where our quotes came from. 65% of our quotes came from Google, which is incredible. That's 13. 6 came from signs, that's 30%, and 1 came from word of mouth. Let's have a look, see if there's anything else I can tell you on this sheet. No, let's go to Stora, and let's have a look at the Stora platform. Now, there's loads. We look at 4 main in the metrics here. So KPIs, if you like. So gross revenue, monthly recurring revenue, occupancy, and rate per square foot. 3 of the 4 are in red, which means they're down. We don't like being down on these ones. One of them's in green. So let's start with the green here. Gross revenue, this is what we're actually taking so far this month, £1,755.59, which is 32.64% up on the previous month. At this point, last month, we'd only took 1,182. October, does that have 31 days? I think it does. Yeah, I love months with 31 days in because obviously we take more money. I like it. It just makes me feel better. It makes me feel all warm and gooey inside. Gooey inside. Monthly recurring revenue, £21,337.65. We're 0.37% down on this 30 days ago. Occupancy, 52.24% occupied. So 52%. This time, last month, we was 52.7. See, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I just want to get past that 70% mark. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. Past the 70% mark, and I'll be happy. So the occupancy right now, square foot occupied, it was at 9,355 square foot occupied on the 1st of October. Then the 2nd of October, it went down to 9,110. And we are currently 9,080 square foot. I want to be that 12,000 square foot. The rate per square foot that we're getting £19.08. Don't forget, it is going to be lower and lower and lower because obviously at the minute we're in lease up stage and we need to get these filled. We need to get people in, customers in. So 30 days ago, it was £19.57. So 49 pence. And yes, that was public maths. It's 49 pence lower than what it was 30 days ago. So not a million miles away. Occupancy, let's just double check these figures. So yeah, we've got 48% of our units taken and we've got 52% of the square footage. It says here square foot in use is 9,205, but on the other section it says 9,080. So, and down here it says 9,080 as well. So it's between 9,080 and 9,205. I believe this is something to do with rooms that have been reserved and all the details have been filled in. So I think that's what the difference is. But ultimately, we're on about 9,000 square foot, which we want to be obviously more. On Friday, we've got my monthly figures for Willoughby, and we've had a good month at Willoughby. And then next week, we're going to do Clough Road figures, monthly figures, and then we've got the quarterly figures. That's my favorite part. I love the quarterly figures, looking at the quarterly figures and seeing what we can learn from the previous quarter and compare it to and contrast to previous years and previous quarters. I love it. It's like porn for me, storage porn. Yeah, and that is basically it. Tomorrow we've got a podcast. I don't actually know what we're talking about. Let's have a look. See, this must be boring for people. Let's have a look, see if I can actually find out what we're talking about. Treat your customers like your grandma. Treat your customers like treat all your customers like you would treat your grandma, and you win. That's I've been reading this book about treating customers well. So it's not what we're talking about tomorrow. Friday storage. Here we go. I don't know, depending on how long it lasts. Friday. Don't be a lucky operator. No, I've got loads of. I don't know. I've got loads of options to do. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know where I'm up to on all these. So you know what? I'm just babbling away now. I have got no idea what I'm talking about. That is it, guys. Sorry for babbling this last minute. I love you. I appreciate you. And you guys rock. Let's hope that, just before you go, I'll tell you where my mind's at. I am not dragging my feet, but I'm almost with solicitors on these new sites. I'm almost like not going to sign, not rushing to sign, because I want to see if there's any indicators that self-storage isn't doing very well. We've had a leak at Clough Road, would you believe it? A new building. And so the developer came out, the guy who built the actual building company came out, and he was like, "Oh, how's it going for you?" I said, "Yeah, at the minute, can't complain, it's good." I said, "How's it going for you?" I know that we was going to build a new self-storage, and we've actually, in one of our locations, we've actually stopped at the minute because it's going to be an extra £1 per square foot, and I don't know if it's right. That is in Boston. We stopped doing that. However, we're definitely going to open in Boston, but are we going to do it now or in a year's time? It's an extra £1 per square foot if we want to open now. Still haven't decided. And he said, yeah, do you know what? loads of people have been saying, yeah, can we postpone for a year? And it is getting slightly worrying because we had loads of work on. We're still busy at the minute, but we're looking at the build, how many buildings we've got in the pipeline, and we haven't got as many. And I'm like, and so he's like, it is a bit concerning, I can't lie. And he said, I can't believe it hasn't affected you guys more. We used to live in a place called Beverley, where I live, and we've gone to West Yorkshire, and we put everything in storage. We're paying £100 a month. We actually looked at all our expenses, and we thought, storage, we can do without storage. And so we took our storage out, and we put it all in the garage. We basically shoved everything in the garage, and don't get me wrong, you can't move in the garage, but it saves me £100 a month. And for me, it's worth it. So when he said that, my heart melted. I'm like, no, you are not the customers that I want. And so I've got to be strong in these sort of situations and realize that you can't time the markets. You don't want to time the markets because better men have tried and failed than me. Anyway, that's where my head's at. That's where my headspace is at the minute. And it doesn't matter how many people I talk to at the conference who said, yeah, storage is great, storage is great. I was talking to some fund managers and stuff, and they go, no, we're still going, we're not bothered. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer, but to fill up a facility, but storage is good, storage is golden. And I think there's only one person I talked to who wasn't on the same wavelength as everybody else. Storage is great, storage is great. And not to say that he was pessimistic about it, but he just had a slight reservation about self-storage, and that was Gavin Shields. He just said, well, you know what, we don't really know. The data isn't there because we've never been through this economic climate, we've never been through a war in Europe. And he was a little bit more reserved, a little bit less confident than everybody else. I talked to Moyes from Q-Boy and all the Q-Boy boys, and they were telling me that they've never been so busy. They've got work coming up their eyeballs, and they can't wait. They're so ambitious about what they're going to do. They're going to do this, that, and the other. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, come on, boys, let's do it. And it was fantastic because I'm asking them, are other people worried? Are you still getting the quotes? Are you getting more people? Are you getting new people coming in? Are you getting people who are building on what they've got, storage operators already, and want to expand? And so we're getting everything. Everybody's coming. People are coming into the market, and people are trying to expand who are already in the market. So we're seeing no downtime whatsoever. In fact, quite the opposite. I was like, oh shit, that's got to be good news because everybody can't be wrong, surely. Anyway, so that's where my headspace is at with all this. It's going to be interesting these next. Do you know what? I think it's because I've got a good standard of living. Right? If you can see the thing in Elvis, a man cave, I've got a bloody massive telly, I've got bandits, I've got a bar, I've got a pool table behind me, I've got a table tennis table in here, and I think like I've got a good standard of living now. But good is the enemy of great. Do I rest on all my laurels and just, yeah, I'm good now, let's batten down the ashes. But then billion-pound companies have been made in these downturns, these economic problems, these economic climates, billion-dollar companies, because they knew there was opportunity. And so there's opportunity here. But then equally, I don't want to out-leverage myself. I've just been reading about Donald Trump and what went wrong in his business, and he over-leveraged himself many, many, many times. But then he's got a book out called Think Big, or Big is the Only Way. And he says, think big and think even bigger and keep going. You can't. One of the worst things in business is losing momentum. And so if I stop expanding, I've lost momentum. As you can see, I'm arguing back and forward with myself. This is exactly. Do you know what? This is an insight into my brain that what's going on 24/7. It's like having a constant argument with each other. No, expand. No, don't expand. Expand. And look, if you don't expand, you're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna be. You're gonna miss out on this opportunity. This crazy opportunity of self-storage. And everyone's like, "Are you kidding me? Look what we've got. Look at the lifestyle we've got. We've got a lot riding on this. If the house online, personal guarantees, and if we expand, we've got a chance of losing everything. We've got a fantastic house. We've got a fantastic life. We've got a holiday all the time. We're good. Why do you want to ruin this?" And maybe we're like, shut up, you. We're going to build a £200 million company. We're not going to do that by resting on our laurels. Let's be ambitious. Anyway, so that's in my head. So welcome to the mind of Dean. That is literally all I'm thinking about all the time. I actually feel better for this counselling session. Thank you very much, everybody. I do actually feel better. Believe it or not, I do actually feel like you've actually helped me. So thank you. Send me the invoice and I'll pay the rate. Right. So if you want another counselling session from me to me tomorrow, then I'll be here as well Wednesday. All right. Love you guys. Speak to you later. Bye bye.